So let me go ahead and start this off with the apology of if this is loud, because it is extremely windy. It is no longer 100-mile-plus-hour per hour winds, but we are still in the 30 to 40 mile per hour winds, MPH, very hard to say, in the Okaloosa County in the Florida Panhandle where I am. So last night, I just want to give everybody a heads up in case you didn't know. Some really severe weather moved through the Alabama, Florida Panhandle, and now it's going up the East Coast through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. I know you can hear the wind. It's literally shaking my Jeep right now. I just got done driving around to check the damage of my community because everything I have seen on Facebook shows how badly Panama City got hit overnight. Actually, early this morning, literally shaking my Jeep right now. There's a couple palm trees back there that you guys can see. There's a lot more around me and they are like super swaying. So yesterday, my kids' school, they sent out, well, actually our county sent out a thing saying they were going to cancel school for today because of imminent danger, imminent threat of tornadoes and high winds and flooding and things like that. For those of you who don't know, we've only been living in Florida not even 2 years yet. We have yet to go through a hurricane or anything like that. And so we looked at this as, well, at least it's not a hurricane, right? Because hurricane is going to be extremely powerful, very severe, and very scary, right? So last night, we did a live stream on SquirrelTribe 2.0, which is more my vlog, just talking family, whatever channel. And we were talking about the fact that here in Okaloosa County, actually in the Gulf, in the Florida Panhandle itself, the National Weather Service issued the level of warning that they issued has not been issued since 1994 for the Gulf in the severity of what last night's storm was supposed to bring. And so I was like, okay, well, that's a big deal, right? That's a huge deal. And you think about the fact that it's not a hurricane, but literally shaking my Jeep right now. It's not a hurricane, but if that is so bad since 1994, they haven't had to issue such a severe warning, how much worse is it going to be than a hurricane? Again, I've never been through a hurricane before. I've had, tornado warnings and things like that when we were in Georgia. And there's been a tornado that touched down not too far from where we live here in Florida, but that was a couple months ago, and it was a little bit farther down into Walton County. So last night, I say, hey, listen, we need to go to bed early. I know, kid, you don't have school tomorrow, but we need to go to bed because they're saying that this weather is going to get pretty gnarly, like around 4 a.m. And I want us to get some sleep before this transpires, just in case we need to, hunker down or get out or something along those lines. So we go to sleep. And I wake up at 3:45 in the morning, and I thought I woke up because I had to use the restroom, because I had to go potty, if you will. But no, what I realized I woke up from once I got out of bed was the howling wind. And I'm like, okay, well, this is interesting. It is so incredibly windy right now. It is absolutely ridiculous. This guy that just got out of his car next to me, I swear, he weighs maybe 100 pounds. The wind just about flung him off the pathway here. But anyway, got up at 3:45 this morning, went and used the restroom, and the wind was so loud that I was like, I can't go back to sleep. I need to know what's happening. So I went into the living room. I closed our bedroom doors. My husband didn't wake up. My kid's asleep in her room with the dog in there. And so I go in the living room and I open all the blinds so I can see absolutely everything. And I turn on the TV and put it on a local news station. And then I get my phone and I pull up Facebook. Now, a lot of people loathe Facebook. I am now in the family of not really liking Facebook due to Mark Zuckerberg and all of the, privacy breaches that come along with it. So I don't post anything personal on Facebook at all anymore. But Facebook does come in handy for groups and cities and pages that can keep you up to date with what's going on. This is absolutely ridiculous how windy this is. And what's so ridiculous about this is I am a easily motion sickness girl, and this Jeep doing this weird swaying, I'm like, oh, I should have worn my C-bands just to drive around today because it is so windy. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so I'm on Facebook on all these different, I'm on the Okaloosa County, I'm in Walton County, I'm in Mobile, Alabama. Like, I have all these different pages that I follow that surround my area, so I can see things that are going on around my area up to date, like as it's happening kind of things, because it affects my safety and the safety of my family, right? So I'm looking at all these different pages on Facebook. I'm watching the news. And I noticed that the news channels that I have to look at, they're showing what's happening with the storm as it's moving through Alabama, and they're showing what's happening. The other channel is showing what's happening with the storm as part of it is in Panama City. But there's nothing showing from Pensacola through Navarre into Okaloosa and Walton County where I am. So I was using Facebook for that. And I want to show you. So at 3:45, I got up and I'm on the couch watching everything. And at about 4 o'clock, the wind really started to pick up. The rain was completely sideways. The trees that were around our apartment, I was like, these things are not going to stay in the ground. It's going to get really bad. Well, around 4:15, 4:30, maybe 4:30, the man woke up. My husband, Kevin 247 on YouTube. He woke up and he sent me a message. He said, "Are you awake out there?" And I was like, "Yes." He goes, "Is it?" He said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm watching the weather. You know, I can't sleep because I worry about the safety of the kid, our daughter." And us, obviously, but more so her over everybody. And so I'm like, I'm out here paying attention to what's happening because the best way to stay ahead of things is to watch what's going on and stuff like that. So he said, okay, I'll come out there too. So he comes out and gets on the couch and we're watching the weather. And I see that on one news station, it's like, well, there is a tornado that is touching down to the never eat shredded wheat. I do this every time. Or never eat soggy waffles, however you feel like it. To the northwest, I believe, northwest of Mobile, Alabama. They're talking about a tornado that's touched down. Then they talk about another tornado possibility going through Mobile. And they're moving this way, which is towards me. They're moving easterly, which I think easterly wind is how it goes. They're moving east towards me. But this line of storms coming from the Gulf of Mexico is massive. It is huge. And I want to show you, I sent myself some pictures so I could show you what actually happened. So these are areas where a tornado, oh, did it send me all the pictures? I hope it did. Okay, so I don't have the pictures of the actual newscast of what was going on, but you see these red marks here? This is actual tornado touchdown, okay? In this area here, this is in Jacobs, Camden, Cottonwood, Esco. I believe this is Florida, right? Then because it didn't show me the Alabama ones. There was tornado touchdowns in Defuniak Springs, which is in between, you know, Destin and Panama City kind of area. They had tornado touchdowns right down here. It says Panama City and Lynn Haven. So, y'all, it's so windy. So I'm paying attention to everything that's going on, and I realize that Panama City is getting hit from this own little sleeper cell, if you will, that's coming up out of the Gulf and hitting them as this massive line of storms is over here in Alabama, moving its way towards Pensacola, moving its way towards us. And we were told in our area that we were going to see the brunt of it, if you will, between 6 and 7. And up until 6 o'clock, I'm watching what's going on in Alabama and the destruction that it's causing there. And then I'm seeing what's happening in Panama City. Let me show you. This is the hail that was falling in Panama City. Hail, that size, okay? This is from a waterspout tornado in Panama City. This is the, I can't even read what it says because unfortunately it made the picture too big. This is one of the first things that happened in Panama City. The condos right there that got knocked down. Then you've got this here, it ripped the roof off of whatever this is. This is absolutely horrific. And this is from a waterspout tornado, not even a regular tornado, not a hurricane, but a waterspout tornado. And this is after Panama City just got done basically rebuilding Panama City after Hurricane Michael, I believe it was, went through a few years ago. So then this is the one that threw me. All right, I need you to see this. Do you see this house? Do you see this house? It literally looks like the wind picked up a house and dropped it between two other houses. That's not the case. This house was literally lifted off its foundation and tilted sideways. You can see, very hard to see, the crack, let's try this again, the crack of the foundation, like right in there is my big finger, right in there, where it literally lifted it off its foundation. Also, Panama City. So this is the front of that house, by the way. I showed you the back. This is the front of that house. Does it not look like the wind lifted this up and flung it and just dropped it down, literally in between a condo and two other houses? You can see it messed up the roof of that house also. This is the roadways. You can see one of the gas stations there messed up. This truck that just got destroyed. This is the Treasure Island Marina. That's what I was showing you a minute ago. Treasure Island Marina got completely destroyed. And you've got some more damage here. This is straight out of Panama City this morning. Before 6 a.m. is when all of that transpired. You've got roofs being lifted off. And this is actually some new construction that is going on. They're building a Publix, and the construction had to stop because of the storms. Obviously, look at this one. This Porsche got it, unfortunately, all the debris there. The amount of I don't want to say catastrophe, but the amount of like debris and damage that was caused by this waterspout tornado that landed in Panama City is crazy. Excuse me. So that's like around 5:30, right? Then this is absolutely ridiculous. I wish you could see how much this Jeep is shaking. It is crazy. Anyway, what was I gonna say? So here where I live, oh y'all, okay, so I'm on the couch and I'm nervous. I'm nervous. It's stupid not to be nervous. I mean, I'm sure some people will say it's stupid to be nervous, but this is new for us here. We have not had this kind of storm while we've lived here. So it is something that we were taking very seriously, or at least I was taking very seriously. So is the man, but he's way more calm and collected. I'm the emotional, like, one, right? My kid can sleep through absolutely anything. But she did end up waking up once the eye of the storm hit us and it got buck wild. But anyway, before it hit us, there's a tornado that touched down maybe 15 miles, 20 miles from where we are, on 38 in Grayton Beach, another waterspout tornado touchdown that moved its way all the way up through Defuniak Springs. Then you have the touchdown tornadoes in Mobile, Alabama. So you have tornadoes, tornado, and we're right here in the middle going, okay, I guess we're next. Like everything's moving east, but all this massive line of storm is headed our way. So then I am in the living room, tiny apartment, right? It's small. It's a small living room, kitchen, whatever combo. And I have all the blinds up so I can see, which my brain is going, this is not safe. You should probably close them and give yourself and close all the blinds so that if glass was to break, nothing's coming in. But I wanted to see what was happening so I knew what to prepare for, right? So I have the blinds up and I'm looking out the window towards the direction of water. We're not directly on the water. We are off the water. And I'm looking towards the direction of water. And normally I don't panic in things like this. I'm actually a little calmer once bad things start to happen. I have a tendency to calm down. It's leading up to it where I'm a little hyper and whatever. So I'm looking out this window and I can see what just looks like a wall of swirl headed towards me. Like I can't see through what's happening and everything is moving sideways and my brain goes, that's a tornado. And I ran through my living room to get to my kid's room and I fling open her door. I'm like, kid, get up, put on pants, put on the sweatshirt, get the dog, come on. And right then all of our power goes out. It is pitch black at this moment. And I'm telling her without trying to freak her out, I'm not yelling, I'm not screaming, I'm none of that. I'm like, kid, you got to get up. Let's get on some pants, get on a sweatshirt, grab your phone, grab your headphones, whatever you need, and get the dog, put a leash on him. I'm going to get your dad. So then I go and I'm like, babe, we got to go. Like, I want to go into the hallway because we're in an apartment complex. We are on the outskirts of the apartment. There's nowhere safe in that spot. I'm like, we need to go into the hallway. So I grab him, grab her, get the dog on a leash. We go out into the hallway and it's, there's a generator backup, thankfully, for the stairwells and the hallways of the apartment, not for the actual apartment units themselves. We had no power. But I had a flashlight because I set everything out ahead of time. I had my flashlights, I had my candles, I had bottled water, I had my bug out bag packed, I had my regular bag packed, which I brought with me here. I had something packed for the kids, something packed for the man, and I'm like, let's grab our stuff and let's go. So we go out into the hallway, and the second we get out into the hallway, the sound was so much like scarier than it was being inside the apartment. Like you could hear the swirling, the wind. But right before we walked out, my husband, he recorded some out the window of what it looked like. And it was just literally a wall of white. And it was howling and it was screaming. And my brain is going, this is some sort of tornado, whether it's a waterspout tornado like hit Panama City and Grayton Beach, Rosemary Beach, Santa Rosa area in Florida or not. I don't know. I've never been in a waterspout tornado. I don't know how this works. So we get into the hallway. Max, our golden doodle, is losing his mind because he doesn't know what's happening. So he needs to be touched the whole time. You can't put your hand down. He wants you holding on to him, whatever else. So we're sitting in this stairwell and my brain goes, clearly you're a tourist still because nobody else is out of their apartments. Everybody else is in their apartments. Either they're sleeping through it or they're not worried about it because they've been through hurricanes or something before. I haven't. So I was, I was scared about what was going on. So we stayed in the hallway for a while. I had my cell phone pulled up and I'm watching this live weather stream on Facebook, where I found the weather person on Facebook watching it. And then it's like, all right, well, this part has moved past it said the wind, I believe that he said the wind got up to 95 miles an hour as it was passing us. But he said there were spots that went up to 111. And I'm like, that's probably what's happening right past us. This is like a small mini tornado of sorts. I'm still trying to figure out, waiting to see when they release all the information of where exactly everything touched down, what touched down. So everything goes by and I'm like, all right, we can go back into the apartment now. So we go back into the apartment and you can see out the windows. There's no longer a just sheet of white that you can't see past. And look, let me show y'all. Can y'all see how windy it is based off their hair? Like it's absolutely crazy. So anyway, we go back into the apartment, everything's fine. And then I'm like, okay, well now is supposed to be like heavier winds and rain and stuff like that. And sure enough, it got a little crazier for a minute and then it was perfectly fine. And I'm like, okay, I think we're through the eye of the storm. There's nothing else bad that's going to happen. But I'm not going to lie. When I was looking out the window and I could see this just swirling mass coming at me, I'm like this the whole time because I was scared. I was scared for my kid. This is one of those things where I don't know if people understand what I mean when I say I didn't care about getting myself out into the hallway or someplace safe, but I was so scared I was not going to get her out into someplace safe in time. And that would be, I could not live with myself if something happened to my child, plain and simple. And I know, again, a lot of people are going to think this is an overreaction to what happened in the area because I just drove around our community to make sure everything was okay, to see if anybody needed help or anything like that. Because I do know from the Facebook groups that I follow that a place near us, an entire roof was ripped off of the gas station and fences are gone down and the buildings that are being built, some of those things have gone down. And there's a lot of debris all along the roadways and a lot of houses that are having roof issues now. But here where I live, it didn't get hit nearly as badly as Panama City and as bad as Mobile, Alabama, and places along that area. I don't know what happened in Pensacola, and I'm not sure what happened in Navarre. And I'm trying to figure all that stuff out because I want to know, where I can go help if people need help, if they need hands on to clean up debris, if they need help rebuilding something or anything like that. I want to go and, I guess, donate my time is the right phrasing here because it takes a village. We got to take care of each other, right? But the wind today is absolutely ridiculous. And I was thinking stuff like this is probably why so many people are like, you know what, screw that, I'm not moving to Florida. And other ones are going, screw that, I'm leaving Florida. But at the same time, there's tornadoes and earthquakes and all kinds of things throughout our entire country. It's not like any place is better than the other, but I do feel like there has been a massive uptick in natural disasters. You see that man getting out of his car, his jacket. Don't fly away, sir. Don't fly away. There has been why is it so windy still? There has been an uptick in natural disasters. Natural disasters. That's what we're going to say. We're going to say natural disasters because I've said it to you guys before. I have seen in videos where I have watched them make lightning out of nothing, where I have seen them. We learned how to make tornadoes when we were younger. Remember in the bottles, you do the water and you spin it and you turn it upside down and it can make its own tornado. If you and I can do that in a 20-ounce Coca-Cola bottle, who's to say our government can't do that in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico and aim it at Alabama, aim it at the Florida Panhandle, aim it over up at the East Coast? I don't put anything past our government. I do hope it does. That man almost ate it, y'all. The wind got him hard. I know, again, I sound stupid right now, but I'm like, can it flip my Jeep? Because one of the pictures that I forgot to send myself was a RV. It looked like a Class A, which is one of the big honkin' tour bus styles on its side. And that was in Panama City. So again, they did have a higher level of, what's the word? Destruction, I guess, last night due to this storm. But this has taught me to take these seriously. I know a lot of people are like, we don't really take it seriously. It is what it is. And I've been that person because I've always said I should have been a meteorologist because you only have to be right 50% of the time. If you're right and it rains, people are happy that you're right. And if you're wrong and it doesn't rain, people are happy that you were wrong and it didn't rain. It's a win-win situation as a meteorologist. And half the time I feel like they're not accurate. So I normally will bypass whatever they say And I'm like, it's not that big a deal. But yesterday, when the locals where I live were like, we're gonna overrun Publix and Whole Foods and Walmart and get as much stuff as we can for when the power goes out, I was like, maybe I should take this seriously like they did. So we got a little extra water, not gonna lie, and got a little extra chicken so that we could have food. Although, when the power goes out, we're resorting to everything we had stockpiled from 2021, 2022, our pantry staples, if you will, that don't need electricity to cook. This man is trying so hard. He's like trying not to, like he had to stop and shield himself from the wind. He is leaning, y'all, I have to, into the wind, trying to walk because that's how aggressive this wind is. I know y'all can see what's happening there. This is crazy because the storm is over. This is the after effects of the storm. It's no longer storming. Now it's just the wind. I'm figuring out how to put this back in there. Just the remnants of it, if you will. But it's going to be like this all day. And according to Ryan Hall, y'all, if you watch him, this is going to go on like sporadically for 10 days, which is kind of scary. This Jeep is shaking like crazy. This feels like one of those wind tunnel things you could do at a amusement park, but not nearly as fun. And a light just broke and flung across the parking lot here. Listen, if you happen to be in the line of these storms yesterday, I would love, or last night, this morning, I would love to hear your thoughts on how you felt in it, because again, this is a new for us. This is the first time we've been through something this severe here. We've had thunderstorms, obviously, where it's lightning for minutes on end, just straight lightning for minutes on end and no thunder, which in itself is suspicious. And then there's been heavy downpour, obviously. But what happened last night, this morning, with that wind and with what I swear was a small tornado ripped through right in our area, that scared me. That really made me understand the power of, and I don't know if I want to say the power of nature or the power of what can be made in nature. Let's put it like that. Power of what can be made in nature. So today I am thankful that nobody in my area was injured or hurt and that my area is safe. Yes, there's some issues and some roofs and some things that are messed up, but everybody is safe. And I feel for anybody who got the hard brunt of it, especially the people around Mobile, Alabama, and then those in Panama City and in Defuniak Springs. So hopefully that's it. Hopefully nobody else encountered any touchdown tornadoes. They said they were going to be EF2s. That's how they said it, EF2s. And I don't know if that's how high it got or not, because this just finished. So I'll be keeping an eye on this. Thanks for letting me just tell you guys about this, because I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I used to sit up when there were storms in Georgia. I'd sit up and watch the news. But this Jeep is going to make me vomit because it's shaking so much and giving me a little baby motion sickness. I'm not even going to lie right now. I used to sit up in Georgia and watch the news when there were supposed to be tornadoes, but I was never scared of it. And this one, it's not that I was scared, but I had a different level of anxiety with it, knowing how close we were to the water. And I've seen what water spout tornado kind of things can do, the destruction they can cause, that they caused in Panama City. And it really gave me a different level of worry, if you will, of anxiety, if you will, which I don't like having anxiety the way I do. It is kind of a pain in the butt. I'm trying to see if I can find this thing I sent to my husband with things that were going on. Let me see. I'm going to try to show this to you guys, and if not, it is what it is. Open. Because he went walking. Actually, what you should do is, he's got a video on his channel that he put up. He recorded everything. While I was making sure everything was okay, he was recording stuff to make sure that he had it on record of what was going on with the weather. So he's got a video up because he went out and walked through it and everything else. No, I don't have anything here. I thought I had some good stuff here to show you, some videos. Oh, here's one. Hold on. Let's see if I can I make that bigger? Thanks for waiting here with me while I figure this out. Okay, so this is, come on, work. See if I can get this to work. How do I make this? Do I make that bigger like that? Nope, that doesn't work. I was trying to show you guys, this is on a Facebook page. This is Mike's Weather, this person who has a weather page here, but it's not working. I wanted to show you, they did like a aerial, not an aerial view, but like a little drone view of what happened in Panama City. And I wanted to show that to you, but I can't pull it up on here. So hopefully I can find it and maybe I can community post it or something later. I don't know. But again, thank you for letting me just kind of talk about what happened last night, because it was definitely eye-opening on how severe things can get here. And I can understand why people don't really want to live on a coastline. I will say that the people in the condos were probably safer than anybody else, because these condos are made out of concrete and they are built to withstand these winds, whereas some of these homes, especially ones that are built back in like the 40s, 50s, and 60s, probably don't have the same withstandability, if you will. But then this comes through, and the first thought I have is, well, your insurance is about to go up. Everybody in Panama City, your insurance is about to go up. Your homeowner's insurance, your renter's insurance, all of it, because they're having to go through and fix things that got, destruction again. Same thing in Alabama, in Mobile, people there, I bet your insurance goes up. Heaven forbid your house got hit, or your car, or your business, and now you have to file a claim. Your insurance is going to go through the roof, because every time we have one of these natural disasters and insurance is supposed to help and cover things, all it does is hurt the people who own things, right? I rent my apartment, and when things like this happen, I'm thankful that I'm renting instead of owning, because at least my insurance isn't going to go up. My renter's insurance is $12 a month. If it goes up, what are we at, 20? You know what I mean? As opposed to your homeowner's insurance going up $2,000 a year because of a roof replacement, a fence replacement, your siding replacement, or whatever else could possibly get destroyed in these kind of high winds and these kind of storms. So yeah, if you guys have been through storms like this, or stronger, tornadoes even, and your insurance like shot through the roof afterwards, I would really like to know about it, because I feel like it happens a lot, and a lot of people don't talk about it, and it needs to be talked about more. Personally, that's my thought. But I'm going to go now, because this wind, like I said, is starting to make me a little, so I'd like to get home. So I'm going to go do that. Thank you for, again, letting me kind of share with you what happened in Panama City, in, the Okaloosa County area, in Mobile, Alabama, with last night's storm from the Gulf of Mexico, or the government, wherever it came from. But I love you all, Squirrel Tribe, very much. Hopefully all of you have been safe and stay safe in whatever weather happens in the next 10 days.